Okay, we're going to go ahead and get started. I mainly just want to welcome everybody. I'm Sue Andersen, the president and CEO of Marian, and this is a labor of love, I can say, for many of us here to see this come to fruition. And it wouldn't have happened without the community support. So I really appreciate everybody here as well as the general community who made this happen, really, because it wouldn't have happened without all the donations. And it's so weird. I know all of us, I feel like, God, boy, let's raise a toast to just being in person and feeling okay with it, and actually socializing a little. It's like we're all deprived from the last year. But it's amazing we can celebrate here in our newly constructed behavioral observation unit. If you remember, this was last year's winning beneficiary for the Legion of Marian. So the donation from Legion of Marian went into this and is part of what helped pay for all this construction and tenant improvements here to make this happen. Right now, it is my distinct pleasure to introduce two exceptional women of faith and service, although Sister Pius tells me that Sister Meg is going to be doing the talking. So, But I'd like to introduce Sister Pius Falstrom and Sister Margaret Keeler. Really, without the sisters, none of this would have been possible because the hospital wouldn't be here without them. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to Sister Meg and to give our night's reflection and prayer. Yay.
Okay. The prayer for those with mental health problems. Depression hurts. Being bipolar hurts. Lord of all goodness and grace, we pray your special touch on all of the people everywhere who are suffering from mental illness. Help them to not despair, but to trust in your healing hand. Help them find good doctors and therapists who will give them proper treatment. Help them to find medication that relieves their symptoms without adverse side effects, and help them remain on their counseling and medication regime. Amen.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Jessa Brooks, and it is my honor tonight to introduce our three programs that were up for voting for this past year. At this time, I'd like to ask Dr. Alicia Gonzalez and Dr. Juan Reynoso to the front. We are missing Dr. Bott today for the ECMO program, but we do have two physicians here who are leadership physicians, and they're going to give us a brief recap on the three programs which were up for the voting this year.
I wish I had planned ahead. I would have worn a white dress and unveiled things as Juan talked instead. But anyway, so I know Dr. Bott couldn't be here, so I'll also just do a brief recap of the ECMO option too. So first, those of you who met me for the first time might have been during a call when Christine Sewell, our ED nurse director, and I presented our dreams of becoming a level 2 trauma center here at Marian. And part of this is this hospital has done what it's been called to do by this community, to grow and keep our patients at home. We hate sending them away from Marian because we live here, not in Santa Barbara. And so we like to be able to bring all those services to our community. And so by elevating our trauma care overall, it brings better orthopedic coverage and trauma surgery and being able to respond to everything from car accidents to farming accidents to, mopeds on the dunes and anything, and be able to take care of all of that right here at home in Santa Maria. And so that was one of our first options, was elevating our trauma care, which is a big multidisciplinary effort. The second thing, ECMO. I am not a critical care specialist, but I will do my best. Basically, ECMO is when your lungs are not able to oxygenate anymore. They can't filter off carbon dioxide. There just is no way to do it. And so literally, your blood goes through a machine and it filters out the carbon dioxide to make space for oxygen and saves your life. And it's a truly miraculous technology that a lot of big, amazing hospitals don't have, and like we're getting. I mean, this is pretty cool that we're doing this here. It's really, really advanced technology. It's one of those kind of miracles of medicine. And I know Juan and I each have stories of patients that are like 19-year-olds that would have died from asthma who are alive because of ECMO. So it's truly a life-saving treatment. And that's, if you want more questions, I'll give you Dr. Bott's phone number.
We have a patient on ECMO right now. We've had several. We've used it several times now since in the last just month.
Right. Good evening, everybody. My name is Juan Reynoso. I'm a practicing emergency physician here in Santa Maria. And I'm going to be sharing a few points of an additional, potentially life-saving project or initiative that we're taking on here in Santa Maria. And that is bringing Spanish translation services to our emergency department. We learn more than ever. And we knew this. We knew what the population here in Santa Maria looks like, what services we needed to render. And during COVID, it became even more apparent, like most things that we all experience as human beings, on the necessity and the level of impact of just being able to connect, not just from a Spanish language, but that cultural piece, that element of trust that language and communication, basic communication brings when it's very much needed in a timely fashion. And that's what COVID taught us, and it helped us appreciate what our community deserves. And so what we're going to be doing is we're going to be creating a bridge between the services in the hospital through physician leadership. And I give a lot of credit to my partner here, Dr. Gonzalez, who has taken this program and put it on steroids. And here's what we're going to do. We will be drawing connections to the community, to our high school seniors and young college students, and anybody really who has that natural skill set that we need in the hospital. In return, we're going to offer an internship model of mentorship for the youth that are going to help us provide these translation services to the families who come to our emergency department. In essence, we want to grow these members of our community to then come back and establish professional services in this community. So we want to build a program now knowing that there's longevity for the future benefits. And that's all I have.
Oh, yay.
Thank you both so much. Okay, so now is the time when we will do the unveiling. I would like to call up our founding member, Kim Jeffers, and our two charter members, Lisa Wessner and Janine Wessner, to the front to assist with the unveiling. And I'm going to hand it off to them for a little fun item before we begin. So we're going to do some gift boxes right now. If you are a member, Angelica is going to be handing out the gift boxes. And at the same time as we unveil what is on the easel, the poster board, we're going to have every member open their box and pop their balloon so that they can actually help to see what it is, because the box also unveils what the winning program is. And to your lucky treat, we have extra boxes. So if you're not a member, you may also be getting a box, as I'm seeing Angelica passing them out.
So now that everyone has their box, let's go ahead and open it. But don't do anything till I say. So everyone should have a balloon and a pin. So we're going to get the pin ready to pop the balloon.
It's on the little white tag.
Don't worry, I'll wait till everyone's ready. Does everyone have their pin and balloon and ready to pop? Maybe not. Everyone ready? Okay, we're gonna, on the count of 3. Let's count down. 3, 2, I don't have one. Somebody tell me who it is. I don't know. Oh, level 2 trauma service, or level 2 trauma services. All right. That's a surprise. Okay, let me give you.
I just want to add, last year we were so fortunate when all the votes came in. It was very apparent very quickly that this facility, the crisis stabilization unit, was going to be the winner. But this year was the complete opposite. And every day Angelica would come in stressed because she would say, they're neck and neck. And still, truly, to the very last day, they were neck and neck, to where they were all within, the winning vote was within 1 and 2 votes. So it was, so the winning vote only had 2 more votes over the third place vote. So we had 3 really exceptional programs. Thank you all for your support. And it really came down to the last vote, the winning vote for trauma services. So we thank you all so much.
Yeah, that's very exciting. It'll mean a lot to this community.
Yeah. And we have one little surprise for everyone. Knowing that the Legion of Marian donated $54,000 last year to this facility, we wanted to surprise all of you with a naming opportunity for this facility. And at this moment, I'd like to ask our 3 leading Legion ladies, LLL, to head over there. There is a drape on one of our quiet rooms. These rooms will be available for patients in need when they need to have a private area as they proceed in their therapy. And this room will be named after the Legion of Marian. Yeah. So, Ben, do you have the camera ready? You good? Yep. Okay. So Ben's going to head on over there to take a photo of the 3 of you as you unveil the new plaque, which will bear this Giving Society's name. Yay! So thank you all for making a huge, huge difference in this community. Before I invite Ken, I'm going to put you on the spot, Ken, if you wouldn't mind just coming up and recapping what you said earlier today, which was so moving. I want to thank all of you, but I also want to invite any of you. We have many of you here tonight who may be interested in joining the Legion of Marian, and with a $1,000 annual gift to Marian Regional Medical Center, you have the ability to join this Giving Society to make a positive impact in the community. So as we close out, Ken, would you mind coming up? I know I'm putting you on the spot, but...
And just part of your membership, in most years you have fun events.
Fun events and...
This year was a little more challenging.
Definitely. So I'd like to introduce Ken. He is the Vice President of Behavioral Health Services for Marian Regional Medical Center.
So Jessica said what I said this morning, and sometimes you say things in the moment. And this morning we had our blessing. So we had a great time to give thanks and to talk about what this center means. Behavioral health from a community standpoint, from a medical standpoint, is well behind where it should be. I equate it to this as we as a society think about things. If I'm in this group and we're standing in a cancer center, and if I were to ask you, who's been touched by cancer, everybody would raise their hand and they would do it without hesitation. But I'm not going to do that. But if I were to say, who's been touched by mental health, illness, either personally or by your family, there would be a few hands go up. And then I guarantee after the meeting, I would have a few people come to me privately and express what they've gone through. Mental health is a disease. It's different, but it's really not different than cardiac or cancer, or it's our body systems within us are not functioning the way that it perfectly should. So this journey for this center started longer than 10 years ago. I've been here about 10 years, and within the first couple of years, I went to meetings about developing behavioral health services and meetings with the county and private companies. And my hat goes off to Dr. Kettler, who's not here. About 2 or 3 years ago, I got 15 minutes with him, and he started talking to me about this thing called a crisis stabilization unit. Now, keep in mind right now in the emergency department, every one of our mental health patients who can't go home immediately waits in the emergency department to go to an inpatient facility. And that's the only option. And our closest one is in Santa Barbara or San Luis Obispo. After that, it's Ventura. After that, Oxnard, LA, Bakersfield, Fremont, wherever. With this unit, all those patients, and I think today, the morning census, there were 3 on holds, and there's others that could benefit. They will come here, and our hope is 60 to 80% of those patients go home instead of waiting a day, 2 or 3 days to go to inpatient facility. Such a tremendous blessing for that person who doesn't travel out of town and turn around and come home. From a macroeconomic standpoint, we treat people at this level of care instead of an inpatient hospital cost. And so since that time, I've just been listening to Dr. Kettler, and he says it and I go and do it, is the way I describe it. And others too. So this unit is really evidence of, one, we already have the patients, they're with us. We have great administrative and clinical staff. And then the end is you, the community, that has realized that this is real, that it's underfunded and it's understated in its need. And so thank you for contributing to this part of our delivery system. And with that, I'm going to give it back to Jessa.
Thank you, Ken. So that wraps up tonight's event. We are so grateful that all of you came together. And of course, the trauma program will be very grateful for your generous gift towards the hospital. So thank you again tonight. Enjoy. Feel free to eat and to drink more. Ken and Sue and myself are all here for tours if you want to be walked around the building and see different parts of the new facility. But ultimately, we end tonight with a thank you and enjoy your evening. Thanks.